Coldplay's hauntingly beautiful song, The Scientist, finds home in their album Rush of Blood to the Head from 2002. Making top 10 songs of that year in the UK, the song really stood out, but the problem is that nobody can quite decide on what it's about. Before we begin, please be sure to hit that big red subscribe button to make sure you never miss a video. In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, lead singer Chris Martin said, "On the second album I was thinking there was something missing. I was really in the dark room in Liverpool, and there was a piano so old and out of tune, I really wanted to try and work out the George Harrison song, Isn't It a Pity, but I couldn't. Then the song came out at once. I said, can you turn on the recorder? The first time I sung it is What's Out There. This is remarkable and seems to be a common theme with the most popular songs out there. They were all made by accident." While the lyrics send us spinning in 1,000 different directions, perhaps the music video can lend us some answers. Unfortunately, we can't play the song or the video on here due to copyright laws, but we're still allowed to talk about them. Interestingly, the music video runs backwards and begins with Chris Martin laying on a mattress in the city. He sings along to the lyrics, stands up, and begins walking backward along train tracks, through a forest, and out into a field. Toward the end of their song, we see a female passenger played by Elaine Cassidy laying on the ground near a damaged car. Martin gets back in the car, and we see Cassidy fly backward through the windshield and back into her seat. The only thing that prevented Martin from flying out just like her would be the fact that he's wearing a seatbelt. She wasn't. Once both passengers are back in the car, we see the car glide back up a hill and onto the road it was originally on. We can see that Chris, who was driving, swerved to avoid an oncoming truck and accidentally drove off of the hill. However, as the last haunting chords of the song play, eagle-eyed viewers will notice that Cassidy only removed her seatbelt to put her jacket on, which lined up perfectly with the traffic accident. When played forward, the crash ensues. Chris gets out of the car, walks through the forest and into the city, ultimately ending his journey with laying on a used mattress on the street. Elaine Cassidy is probably best known for her role as Abby Mills in the American CBS TV series Harper's Island, but she's dabbled in many different media events throughout the years. When asked about the music video in an interview, she said, "At a party I met a director who asked if I wanted to be in a pop video. The film clip was recorded in reverse, Twin Peaks style, so Chris Martin had to learn the song backwards. I know it backwards now too. We were supposed to kiss in the original scene, but Chris refused. He'd just gotten together with Gwyneth Paltrow. So I was snubbed by Chris Martin." So, based on the music video, the song is about a heartbroken lover whose partner just died in a car crash. This is illustrated by the following lyrics. "Come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry, you don't know how lovely you are. I defined you, tell you I need you, tell you I set you apart." And it's particularly illustrated by Martin repeating the line, "Let's go back to the start," throughout the song, meaning he wants to go back before the accident. All of these lyrics carry with them the sorry sense of mourning, and with the living person begging the dead to forgive them, bargaining with them to come back to life, and admitting that nobody said it was easy, nobody ever said it would be this hard, referring of course to the stages of grief. But why is this song called The Scientist? Well, this is where it gets interesting. A small group of people believe that The Scientist is actually a ballad version of the short story called The Birthmark. You can find a link to that in the description below. In the story, a scientist is married to a wonderful wife who is perfect in every way except for a large birthmark covering her face. The scientist doesn't like it and thinks it makes her less of a person. To remedy this, the scientist brews a special concoction of chemicals and feeds it to her. Remarkably, her birthmark disappears. Soon enough, though, we learn that the wife is dying because of the side effects of the potion. Some people believe that the song and music video are modern-day interpretations of this classic tale, with Martin apologizing for what he's done, singing, "You don't know how lovely you are."